Hey guys, today I'm going to do a quick overview and review of the MXR stereo chorus. This is the M134, not to be confused with the M234, which is the smaller blue version of this, and it's not a real stereo chorus. I mean, it has two outputs, but it's wet and dry, and this is a phase inverted output, which can pose some problems, but it does sound pretty good. I'll go over why the phase inversion technique can pose some problems, especially when you're down mixing to mono. So a few things. I ended up buying this myself, so it's not a sponsored review. I don't think MXR would even bother with this. This doesn't seem to be one of their popular models anyway of choruses. So yeah, it's one of the chorus models that I've wanted for a while. So I was kind of intrigued by it since it is designated a stereo chorus, but after doing some research, I found out it's just phase flipped. It doesn't actually have two bucket brigade devices like the DC2W, for instance. It does have some really cool features that the M234 doesn't have, and a lot of other choruses on the market. It's fully analog, so that's really cool. It does run on 18 volts. It comes with an AC adapter. You have to be very careful since it's a standard barrel jack. You might be able to plug that into a pedal and blow it up. So I just mark my pedals with a warning saying that these are the AC adapter in this case, that this is an 18 volt AC adapter, and I've not run into a problem yet. So in the opening, I did have it in stereo. You need to listen to this in full stereo. You need to have two channels, preferably on headphones. That makes the phase inversion sound really neat. But if you listen to this in a mono mix down, and I'll go over this just in a second here, it will phase cancel and you won't hear the chorus effect at all. The easiest way to find out if it is a flipped phase chorus is to have it set into stereo channels on a mixer, for instance, and then pan both channels to the center. If the chorus effect totally disappears, you know it is a phase flipped output. We're going to do that right now. So on the minilogue XD, I'll go ahead and start playing a sequence. This is a pad, and I have a nice little setting set up here. I'll make the rate really apparent. And you should hear some stereo chorus effect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan the channels directly to the center. So left and right will be put to center, and all you'll hear is the non-chorused audio. So let's start that. I'll go with this channel, which is the left channel, and I'll put it into the center. Now I'm moving over to the right channel. And there you go, you don't hear the chorus effect anymore. If I engage and disengage the chorus, nothing happens. So yeah, that does pose a problem if you're going to do a mono mix down using this chorus, that you'll have phase cancellation and nobody will hear the chorus effect. This will run in mono, and it sounds really good in mono as well. I do think it is one of the better mono choruses out there, but just be aware of that. The DC2W, for example, is a true stereo chorus, and this only happens in the SDD320 mode, from what I've noticed. It does some weird phasing, but in the standard mode, it works just fine. Alright, let's go over some of the features that make this kind of unique. So, unlike other chorus effects where you just usually have rate and depth and things like that, and maybe a tone control, you have a width control on this. The width control isn't really a stereo width control. I mean, it does kind of play into that because of how it does things, but it's not based on the stereo width. The width indicates the width of the LFO. So I'll demonstrate that. We'll go back to the pad sound here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the intensity way up, and I'm going to turn the width all the way down. As you hear, there's no movement on the LFO anymore. You still hear the phasing effect, but in turn now we have a still chorus. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop talking really quick, and I'm going to move the width up so you can hear what it happens. in this case, the intensity control is basically your depth, so how much of the chorus you add to the dry signal. Some of the other features I want to bring up that are pretty unique to this, there's a bass cut filter. So it cuts the bass frequencies going to the chorus effect. It won't cut the bass frequencies going through. In this case, there's really no bass frequencies, but yeah. One of the other cool features is the equalization section. So the equalization section, unlike the M234, is fully boost and cut. On the M234, the little blue one from MXR, it's only a cut. So this one will add 12 dBs of treble or subtract 12 dBs of treble, and same with the bass. So we can listen to that really quick. I'm going to do that. In the center, it's flat. So let's just start with the bass frequency. And now let's move on to the treble. So yeah, that's pretty unique and really useful. Instead of having just your basic tone control or something like that. I'm going to use the opening plucked patch again with this sequence to demonstrate the equalizer a little more. It's more pronounced in that. It's a pretty powerful chorus. You can do a lot of tone shaping with it, especially with the equalization, the bass cut and things like that. And the LFO controls are pretty much unmatched for an analog chorus. It's almost entering some of the flanger territories, like the 117R flanger, which I'll do a video on. That's also an MXR product. But that has some unique controls with how much you can control the LFO. I'm glad I did pick this up. It's a very powerful chorus. It can do quite a bit, especially with the LFO control and the equalization, which only affects the wet signal or the chorused signal. So that's pretty awesome. The only caveat is worrying about that phase cancellation. And if you can work around that and tell your audience that it has to be listened to in stereo, or you just use this in mono, which it works really well in mono. I mean, that defeats its name, but you still get all the powerful tone shaping. Yeah, it's pretty great. Anyway, thanks for watching.